All right, my final little Steam Next Fest preview. Steam Next Fest being this thing that Valve does on Steam where they put just tons of demos up for a week that you can play for games that are upcoming and playing. I love this. It's one of my favorite events in gaming. So I picked 3 just like last year to kind of preview and demo. The last one I looked at is Space Trucker. It is a simulation-heavy game, but fantastical in the way that you drive a space truck, moving stuff from point A to point B. I'm going to say this one didn't land with me. Not because it's bad. It is good, and I think a lot of the sim players out there will find the sim part of this nice and meaty. They don't cut anything off because it's fantastical. They really took the time to think about what being a space trucker would be down to the letter, and they really capitalize on that simulation thing. You've got a hole in the hull, you got to go outside and patch it. You've got to replace power cells. You've got to keep your ship afloat. You have to actually operate the CB. You actually have to operate the radio. Like, they really put some aspects to this that I feel the simulation community will really hit on. I had some problems with it. It was a little monotonous. If I had to say anything about it, while you can drop back into like an outside view of the space truck, they really want you to be in that cockpit because you can't operate the CB or the radio or any of the little switches from outside. So you have to be inside the ship to do that. And the field of view on the truck is really, really hard to figure out where you are in space. It's really easy to run into things and stuff, and I didn't love that. I'm also still trying to find the power cell for the gravity generator on my space truck, which lost gravity 50% through my playthrough, and I could not figure out where the hatch was to pull the power cell and to put it in, so it just kept floating around. Still, I think there is a lot of really cool aspects to this. The graphics are really good. I think the sim community are going to love that meaty, chunky, talk to people on the CB, run your own radio sort of thing. I think that will be right up their alley. You could take your own contracts, decide where you're going, decide when you're jumping. All of that stuff is really interesting. I found it really giggleable that you kind of drive on these space highways that actually have a speed limit, which it's funny to me because it's space, and you never think about that being in space. So I think as far as the game goes, this will be a very interesting prospect for people to get into. It's going to take time. For me, I probably won't be playing this one. However, I'm going to let another 2 minutes of this play for you guys so that you guys can decide whether you would want to play this or not. I think if you're a sim-heavy person, especially a sim-heavy driving person, you're going to enjoy this. You're going to find this very interesting.